In today's society, advancements of technologies have led to a whole new world of video games. Children have been stuck at the center of this as their attention is now focused on it. How many times have you seen kids do the floss dance at your local store or restaurant? According to the article written in the Economic Inquiry titled Can Video Games Make You Smarter?, almost 43% of children aged 10 to 18 play video games every day or almost every day. Although video games have the potential to be beneficial, they are harming children. My goal today is to persuade you guys that video games are not being used correctly, which are harming children. I will inform you about the problems video games have during developmental stages, the causes of video game abuse, and the solutions that can be taken to make sure this isn't a problem. First, let me examine the problem with video games. The video game industry has grown today to have just about any video game imaginable, from literally simulating a goat or fighting zombies. Although there are a series of educational video games, no children is going to choose learning games over their favorite sports game. Children also choose games of violent topics since they are the most popular and most common to play. Young children shouldn't be exposed to violent games since they can lead to similar aggressive behaviors in real life. Many studies show this relationship, such as the analysis from the Psychiatric Times, which shows a significant correlation between violent games and aggressive behaviors. Another problem is video games is taking up most of the time of children. Children aren't physically going outside and playing like they used to. This is leading to a lot more problems than we think because children are less likely to engage in social interactions. Since children aren't going outside and playing, this also leads to a slight risk of obesity in young children. The last problem with video games is highly addictive. Many parents overlook the problem of addiction because they believe it's not possible with video games. However, according to the article written by Byerman titled Gaming Disorder and Symptoms, video games are designed to interfere with the brain's rewards and motivation centers, which can make them highly addictive. The causes for video games are solely based on the parents. Parents shouldn't use video games or tablets to keep their kids entertained or calm. I see this way too many times at my job when parents stick a tablet in front of their child to keep them calm during their whole dining experience. This causes children to become dependent on the tablet. Parents should also not give their children violent games at a young age. They should change the content of the games to positive contents, which can increase pro-social behavior, as discussed in the article, and aggressive behavior. There are a few solutions that can be taken to make sure video games aren't a problem. Video games shouldn't be taken away entirely from children. However, if they're allowed to play, they should be monitored and watched by the parents to make sure they are not harming them. They should also follow the guidelines and ratings posted by the Entertainment Sophomore Rating Board to make sure they're playing the correct games. They should play games labeled E plus 10, which stand for appropriate for everyone, or appropriate for everyone plus 10, and some games labeled T, which stand for appropriate for teenagers. Children should also be encouraged to engage in outside activities such as clubs and playing sports. Parents should also offer alternatives such as reading books, card games, or even playing boards other than video games. To conclude with, video games aren't harmful in every case, but being exposed to violent video games at a young age can affect some children. The cause of video game abuse is centralized solely on the parents, and the problem is as well. Video games can be highly addictive and can lead to other problems like obesity. However, parents have the right ability to stop this.